Good afternoon, and welcome to the College of Education and Health Professions 2022 Commencement Exercise. I am Brian Primack, Dean of the College of Education and Health Professions, and it is truly my honor to welcome you to this event. Before we begin our ceremony today, I invite you to please stand for the playing of our national anthem, performed by the Ozark Mountains British Brass Band. Please be seated. Now it is my honor to welcome all of you to the 2022 spring graduation. At this ceremony, we'll recognize our graduates who majored in many things: communication sciences and disorders, career and technical education, childhood education, educational studies, elementary education, English education, social studies education, special education, exercise science and kinesiology, human resource and workforce development, nursing, physical education and health, public health, and this one might be a little bit loud, recreation and sport management. If nothing else, you know that we have spirit. You probably noticed from this list, though, that we have a lot of different areas in our college. But there is a common thread. That thread is that we train people in what we call the caring professions. We train the people who get up each day, go out there, and make the world a better place. Now, I don't want to, yes, that's a good thing. But I don't want to sugarcoat this. What we all do is hard. It can and will be emotionally draining. But it will be worth it. Because, as was said by Mary Rose McGeary, well known for her work with homeless youth in the United States, there is no greater joy nor greater reward than to make a fundamental difference in someone's life. And all of you will in some way be making that difference. So please give yourselves a round of applause in advance. Because I like to use quotations, I'll share another one with you now. It's a Japanese proverb that can be paraphrased like this: "One day with a great professor is better than 1,000 days of diligent study on your own." I am certain that you have had professors that remind you of this during your time at the University of Arkansas. And that's especially true because you are in our college, which is well known for having the most awarded professors. Just this year, we again won the award for the best collegiate instruction. So, I now ask all our outstanding faculty to please stand and be recognized. Okay, now I'd like to call out some specific individuals we are fortunate to have with us today. I ask these folks to please stand and remain standing until everyone is introduced. And audience, please hold your applause until all have been introduced. First, there is our commencement speaker today, University of Arkansas graduate, physical therapist, and head athletic trainer for the National Basketball Association's Portland Trailblazers, Dr. Jessica Cohen. Yeah, I think that's worth it. We can applaud there, yeah. An individual who needs no introduction, Interim Chancellor Charles Robinson. Associate Dean Dr. Matt Gannio. Associate Dean Dr. Stephen Dittmore. Associate Dean Dr. Loetus McNeil. Director of the Eleanor Mann School of Nursing and Billingsley Endowed Chair, Dr. Susan Patton. Yes, we hear it from nursing. Department Head of Curriculum and Instructure, Dr. Ed Bengtson. Department Head of Rehabilitation, Human Resources, and Communication Disorders, Dr. Michael Hevel. Department Head, of Health, Human Performance, and Recreation, Dr. Michelle Gray. And representing Faculty Council, carrying the college banner, Dr. Albert Cheng. Then we have our Alumni Award winners who you will be hearing more about later. Our outstanding alumnus in education in 2020, Dr. Jim Rollins. Our outstanding young alum in 2020, Andrew Young. Outstanding alum in Health and Human Services 2022, Sarah Hensley. Outstanding alum in education for 2022, Dr. Lynn Mead. Additionally, I'd like to recognize our faculty marshals, Dr. Kimberly Frazier, Dr. Rachel Glade, Dr. Angie Smith-Nix, Dr. Robert Elbin, and Dr. Guadalupe Rodriguez. I know this is a lot of people, but it takes a lot to put this on. Our volunteers from the Boyer Center for Student Services, there's Erin Abbott, Katie Winkler, Cindy Folsom, Deb Henderson, Haley Carney, Celeste Fishback, Matt Gwartney, Andrea Howard, Corey Johnson, Chelsea Martin, Kim Penhaligon, Laura Harrison, Robert Ellis and Madeline Jones. And last, but certainly not least, our commencement committee, Dr. Mary Margaret Hoy Cunningham, Denise Bignar, Brandon Weston, Shannon Magzum, and Elizabeth McKinley. Please, a round of applause for all of these incredible individuals. You may be seated. Now, I would like to recognize our senior scholars. Our senior scholars have achieved extraordinary levels of scholarship. They have all gotten, yes, a perfect 4.0 grade point average, all A's in all of their classes. Now, they will be recognized as their degrees are awarded as part of the main ceremony, but I ask all senior scholars to please stand now so that we can recognize you. Please stand, and everyone here, join me in congratulating these outstanding students. It's time now to tell you about those amazing alumni that I told you I would be telling you more about. So this year, we are continuing our recognition of outstanding alumni from our college. The Dean's Advisory Council began these awards to honor outstanding alumni from our college in their respective fields of study. This year is special. We will recognize our winners from 2020 as well as 2022. The council decided not to select winners in 2021 because of the pandemic. First, Dr. Jim Rollins, please join me at the podium. Dr. Rollins is the recipient of the 2020 Outstanding Alum in Education Award. For 38 years, he was Springdale School District's superintendent. When Rollins began with the Springdale School District, way back in 1980, the student population was approximately 5,000 students. It has grown to almost 23,000 students in pre-K through 12th grade. He has educated thousands of students who are recent arrivals to the United States and has truly been an advocate for student support and success. He is now the president of Northwest Technical Institute. We are very proud that he earned a Master of Education degree, a specialist degree in secondary administration, and a doctorate in administration, all from the University of Arkansas College of Education and Health Professions. Thank you, Dr. Rollins, for coming back to campus and allowing us to recognize your accomplishments. Thank you so much. You know what? One last thing. Okay.
There we go. Thank you, Dave.
They may not be compatible with the hats. Wardrobe malfunction, right? Okay. I now ask Andrew Young to please join me at the podium. Andrew Young is the recipient of our 2020 Outstanding Young Alum Award. He received a Bachelor of Arts in English and Political Science and, importantly, a Master of Arts in Teaching from the University of Arkansas. He teaches 8th grade English, language arts, and pre-AP at Woodland Junior High School. He is also the school's celebrated and beloved, I can tell you from all the comments that I heard, yearbook advisor. He very creatively teaches digital photography for Fayetteville Virtual Academy. He's a national board-certified teacher and a certified journalism educator. He's a member of multiple professional organizations, but also a leader in those. For example, he currently serves as the president of the Arkansas Scholastic Press Association, which has the goal of promoting scholastic journalism in the entire state. Mr. Young, thank you for your dedication and commitment to education and for joining us here today. You might need to remove the hat before I try to put this on you. Our 2020 Outstanding Alum in Health and Human Services, Dr. Erica Brofman, could not be here today, so accepting the award in her honor is Dr. Michael Hevel, who is Department Head of Rehabilitation, Human Resources, and Communication Disorders. Dr. Brofman earned undergraduate degree in elementary education from the U of A, and then went on to earn her master's degree in clinical mental health counseling in 2003, and a doctoral degree in counselor education and supervision in 2010. After completing her doctoral degree, she quickly advanced at Ozark Guidance, where she currently is the Vice President of Clinical Services. Among her achievements over the last decade, Brofman developed many more opportunities for master and bachelor level internships at Ozark Guidance. And she has also dramatically improved the quality of those experiences, which are so important to our trainees. She has also grown Ozark Guidance programs to make sure that each school in Northwest Arkansas has access to a mental health provider. And I don't have to tell you that that is particularly important now in 2022. Currently, the organization has over 100 licensed counselors and social workers in over 150 schools across Northwest Arkansas. These programs serve over 5,000 students annually through direct care services, in addition to the numerous other students impacted by outreach services. This is why we are proud to honor Dr. Brofman today. Okay, now for our 2022 Alumni Award winners. Dr. Lynn Mead, please make your way to the podium. Dr. Mead is the recipient of the 2022 Outstanding Alum in Education Award. She is an instructor in the University of Arkansas's Communications Department, where she has taught since 2003. As a result of her dedication to her students, she won the Imhoff Teaching and Mentoring Award in 2018. And she has been nominated 3 times for teaching honors by the Student Alumni Association and Associated Student Government, ASG. Student athletes voted her the Game Day Professor in 2009 and 2015. She was inducted into the Teaching Academy, a very prestigious honor, in 2019. And she currently serves as a co-director for the Wally Cordis Teaching and Faculty Support Center, where she helps design programs that help all of the faculty across the university with their scholarship and their teaching. Dr. Mead recently wrote an open resource, Advanced Public Speaking Textbook for the university. She holds a Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts in Communication And she also has a Doctor of Education in Higher Education, all from the University of Arkansas. So congratulations, Dr. Mead, and thank you for your continued dedication to education. Thank you. Sarah Hensley, would you please join me at the podium? Let's put this in sort of basic terms. Sarah Hensley runs a city, a big city. She was appointed city manager of Denton, Texas in March of 2022. She brings with her more than 20 years of public service and leadership experience to this position. She most recently served as the Parks and Recreation Director for the entire city of Austin, Texas, which has been voted one of the top places in the country to live. A lot of that is because of her work. Her experience includes director roles in parks and recreation from cities across the nation, including San Jose, California, Virginia Beach, Virginia, and Phoenix, Arizona. Sarah holds a Bachelor of Science and Master of Education from the University of Arkansas and is a graduate of the Executive Development Program at Indiana University. Sarah, thank you for your service to these and other communities across the country. Please join me in congratulating Sarah Hensley, our 2022 Outstanding Alum in Health and Human Services. Last but not least, our 2022 Outstanding Young Alum, Angela Chang Chu, could not be here today. Accepting the award in her honor is her close colleague, Dr. Susan Patton, Director of the Eleanor Mann School of Nursing. Angela Chang Chu graduated from the Eleanor Mann School of Nursing in 2012 with a BSN. And she graduated the College of Education and Health Professions, in 2015 with a Master's of Science in Community Health Promotion. She is currently a doctoral student at Duke University. You've probably heard of that one. And she plans to graduate in August of this year. Angie is fluent in multiple languages. She has worked as a minority health consultant in Northwest Arkansas and an intern at the Ministry of Health and Welfare in Taiwan. She's also been an international patient care liaison at Johns Hopkins University Hospital and a consultant for the Center for Global Initiatives at the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, ranked one of the top in the country. She has made a global impact on health while advancing evidence-based nursing and health promotion. She has also worked to promote excellence in teaching, learning, and research in global health. Her current employment with LifeBridge Health Systems in Baltimore, Maryland, allows her to combine her clinical knowledge, her business abilities, and her ability to guide and mentor others. She is extremely accomplished, and we are honored to count Angie among our alumni. Congratulations, Angie, and Susan, please come up and accept the award for her. So, this year, we are fortunate to have Interim Chancellor Charles Robinson join our commencement ceremony. And he'll now share a few words with our graduates. Please give a warm welcome to our Chancellor, Charles Robinson.
Thank you, Dean Primack. And congratulations, graduates. This is my third ceremony today, so I've shaken a lot of hands, but I can tell you I'm excited because this is the College of Education and Health Professions, and it's unquestionably the best college at the University of Arkansas. Am I right? You know, whenever you're asked to do remarks, you want to say more than just congratulations, right? You want to say something that could be food for thought. I'm a history professor, and so I looked into history and thought, well, maybe I'll pull out something from history's past and use it as a lesson today. But instead, my mind went to Marvel characters, Marvel superheroes. And I thought about them for a second, and I thought, well, let me see how this might work. If you think about the Marvel superheroes, each and every one of them has some characteristic that makes them special even before they put on the suits. You know, Bruce Banner is a physicist. You know, he's a brilliant physicist before he transforms himself into the Incredible Hulk. And Peter Parker is this nerdy kid who was into science and technology before he was bitten by the spider that made him the Spider-Man. And then, of course, Tony Parker was this brilliant inventor, super industrialist who invented the Iron Man suit and became Iron Man. And then, of course, there was T'Challa. Not too many people like T'Challa. T'Challa was this suave, Solomon-like character who, when he put on the Black Panther suit, he was the smoothest superhero in all superheroes, no question about it. And so now, when I think about this, you might ask, well, what does this have to do with graduation? It's real simple. You came here, and each and every one of you had skills and ability. Each and every one of you worked really, really hard to achieve what you're achieving now. Now you're about to receive your degrees, and when you receive those degrees will become your superhero suits. That's right. You'll be able to put them on, and when you put them on, you become superheroes who can go out there and make a difference in people's lives. Superheroes are not just figments of our imaginations. They exist each and every day in our society, and they do heroic deeds. And this society needs for you to be superheroes, and your degrees will allow you to put on the suit. So what do I say? I say, put them on. Become those superheroes who make a difference in the lives of others. Be superheroes to students from impoverished circumstances who need you to protect them from the scourges of inadequate education. Be superheroes to those patients with medical issues, the faces at the bottom of the well who need for you to be the guardians of the galaxy for their health care. Be superheroes for people afflicted by the myriad of physical and emotional concerns, those who will need for you to be the avengers for their life challenges. Be superheroes for those you might encounter who have a variety of needs. Let them benefit from your energetic, skillful, and heroic involvement. This is the essence of service. This is the requirement of citizenship. This is the call of community, and you have the opportunity to answer this call as graduates. So I say, suit up, graduates of the College of Education and Health Professionals. We need you to be the superheroes that make a difference in our society today. Hey, happy graduation to you. Take care.
Thank you so much, Chancellor Robinson, for those powerful words. Now, every year, we have a message for our graduates from our esteemed faculty, delivered by our College Council chairperson. Please turn your attention to the video monitor for this video message from Dr. Claretha Hughes.
Hello, and good evening, everyone. My name is Claretha Hughes. I'm a professor of human resource and workforce development. I'm also chair of the College of Education and Health Professions College Council. On behalf of all the college's faculty, It is an honor to welcome you to the 2022 Spring Commencement. Dean Primack, distinguished guests, members of the faculty, colleagues, staff, and most essentially, our 2022 graduates, welcome. As your faculty, and on behalf of the great state of Arkansas, we want to say thank you to the graduates. Your decision to attend our college and pursue degrees in caring professions is commendable. To all of you, I would like to offer a few words of wisdom about growth and change. Growth is uncomfortable. As we are in this spring season, we are witnessing growth all around us. New plants emerging through the soil, newborn birds emerging through eggshells, and butterflies emerging from cocoons. Many of you, after graduation, will emerge and experience sustained growth. And sustained growth requires adaptability. You have shown throughout this pandemic and your academic successes thus far that you have the ability to adapt, even when many of the decisions are outside of your control. Change is a constant, and you can be a catalyst within change processes and efforts. Your actions, thoughts, and decisions will always serve as a catalyst within change efforts, be they positive or negative. I hope that in your progress within your chosen caring profession careers, that you truly become caring catalysts for positive changes in education, health, recreation, nursing, human resource development, and all other fields represented here, locally, statewide, regionally, nationally, and throughout the world, as you make the great state of Arkansas as proud of you as we, the faculty, are of you today. We are grateful that you care about humanity enough to continue in fields where your efforts are essential. Despite the pandemic, you have persevered and continues to thrive for excellence, or I should say thrive in excellence, to accomplish the achievements for which you will be recognized today. We congratulate you and stand alongside all of your supporters in celebrating you today. Well done.
Thank you, Dr. Hughes. I'm now pleased to introduce our speaker, Dr. Jessica Cohen. You can read about her biography in the program, but I'd also like to mention just a few things about her now. Jessica is in her third season with the Portland Trail Blazers, a National Basketball Association team, and she was named the team's head athletic trainer in January 2022. This makes her a true trailblazer because she is the only current female head athletic trainer in the NBA. She herself is also an accomplished athlete. Her outstanding performance with her high school swim team, for example, where she was captain senior year, helped her win 4 sectional championships. And it also earned her a spot on Vanderbilt's swim team, where she participated in SEC championships. But true to being a graduate of our home of the caring professions, she was always interested in giving back to the community. For example, while she was at Vanderbilt, she took a leadership role in helping build a clean water source for a village in Kenya. She then came to the U of A for her master's degree in athletic training, and she went on to complete a doctorate in physical therapy at Northwestern University, and the rest, as they say, is history. So please help me welcome to the podium Dr. Jessica Cohen.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here today. I haven't been back since I graduated, and it's been great to see campus and see how everything's evolved and changed over the last few years. If I'm going to be honest, when I received this email a few months ago, I was sitting at my desk, I read it, I reread it, looked around like maybe my coworkers might be pranking me, and then I reread it again and thought, did they mean to send this to me? I have a kind of common name, so maybe it was the wrong email. But when I realized this was real, I did what any normal person would do. I went to Google. I searched greatest commencement speeches of all time. And what did I find? Speeches by Chadwick Boseman, Oprah, Jim Carrey, Michelle Obama, Steve Jobs, Beyonce, the list goes on. And let me just tell you, that's not a great way to boost your confidence for an event like this. Small shoes to fill. But I quickly realized that intimidation by this search was useless. I reminded myself that comparison is not the creator of confidence, and I will give no power to the idea of imposter syndrome. I feel like I was sitting in your shoes just a year ago, or in your seats, rather. I had to think back to when I graduated. Turns out, it's been 9 years. I've lived in Chicago, Atlanta, Portland. I've worked hundreds and hundreds of basketball games since my time in Fayetteville, and I've watched the best athletes in the world go to work every day. But it still feels just like yesterday I was in your spot. Somehow I'm officially old enough, or rather experienced enough, to give a commencement speech. And I never thought that this would be a milestone I would consider in my adult age, but I'm truly honored to be here, so thank you for having me. I spent a lot of time in reflection. What could I say to a group of eager young graduates getting to embark upon the real world? A world that will only be better if you dare to make it a version of the one that you see. I started to think about what I've learned since my time in professional basketball. I work in a world dominated by males. I was told numerous times by my peers I had no business working in the NBA, that it would never happen. Perhaps their views were siloed by what has been seen, or in this case, not seen. Women in the NBA. Could you even imagine such a thing? Where would we be if if people only acted on the examples of things that they have seen so far? How would progress ever exist in a world like that? If the women currently in the NBA waited to see other women on the sidelines of games, we would still be waiting. I often take for granted how lucky I am to be around such skilled and talented individuals. Every day, I spend time with the most successful people in the world at their craft, from top to bottom, roster spot 1 to 17. By the time these athletes get to the professional level, not every athlete on the roster can be a superstar, but you still must remember how special each and every one of these athletes are. At any one given time, there are 500,000 male high school basketball players in America. Of that, 16,000 will go on to play college basketball, and that includes Division I, II, and III. From that, only 110 players will ever play in at least one NBA game. Essentially, anyone pursuing a career in basketball has a roughly 1 in 3,333 chance, or 0.03% chance, or excuse me, 0.03% chance of ever making it to the best league in the world. 0.03% chance. And in my role, I have a front row seat to the transition these athletes will face when they are drafted and join a professional basketball team. Some will be forced to transition from a position of singular team superstar to a supporting role. This transition forces these players to reflect on how they will define success. It has made me realize that every person, whether in basketball, another sport, or any other career, must take the time to ask themselves, how do I define success? Sometimes it's easy to say, I found success because I'm better at everyone in what I do. Or I have found success because I make more than everyone. Or maybe I have found success because I've impacted more lives than anyone else. However, it is important to recognize that success comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms. We must define success by the things that we can control, and how someone else does is something that is not in our control. All of the examples I just gave you deal with a state of comparison. I will have more money than him, or I will be better than her. Whether you work in the NBA, a hospital, a lab, or a school, your success, your truths, should be determined by the variables you can control. When you think of the most successful athletes in the world, who do you think of? Tiger, Serena, Diana Taurasi, Michael Jordan, or maybe Mia Hamm, Muhammad Ali, and there's Simone Biles and Tom Brady. When you read about these individuals, you will start to see trends in their mindset. All of these athletes, at one time or another, were the very best at what they did, and they could have settled, sat on top of the mountain and been satisfied with where they were. But for some reason, not a single one of them continued to do that. They thrived at breaking their own barriers. Intuitively, they all somehow knew they had to push themselves in uncomfortable positions to keep climbing, and they craved it. They already knew they were the best, but they did not settle or back down from growth. They competed against themselves. They did not compare themselves to others. Tiger was the best golfer in the world, and he changed his golf swing. Dara Torres swam and medaled in her 5th Olympics after having a child. Serena made a comeback after having a pulmonary embolism. They thrived on growth and improvement and not in comparison. These athletes defined success in a way of setting goals on the things they personally had not accomplished. Now, most of my examples relate to athletes because that is the world that I work in. The same can be applied to medical professionals, teachers, and politicians. How many times did Oprah get rejected? How many times was she told she was not fit for TV? She ended up on a talk show because she was fired from her news job. And she often speaks of her struggle to juggle messages of expectation and obligation. She says, if you want to fly, harness your power to your passion, honor your calling, and trust your heart. Success will come to you. So I ask you all sitting here to close your eyes, and I really want you to close your eyes for a second. Take a moment and think, what does success look like to me? Now, if any form of that definition of success is based on a metric that requires you to compare yourself against others, start over and really think about it. And then we're going to hold on to that thought, and we're going to come back to our definition of success later in this talk. So now you can open your eyes, and I have another question for you. How many of you went on social media this morning? Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, or TikTok? You can raise your hand or don't. I definitely did, and there is no shame in that. As the world has become more global and information is at your fingertips, it is easy to compare. We are living in a time of filters. You can filter an image to give a perception of perfection. Social media allows us to look at the lives of our peers, our role models, and our leaders. But when we see those lives, we are seeing them through a filter. You are seeing a snapshot, possibly a snapshot that has been edited. It is these filters that seem to be intimidating at times. It is these filters that hold us back from trying new things, thinking, there's no way I could ever do that well, or make that look that good. And it is these filters that have instilled a large fear of failure in our lives. There's a direct correlation between the amount of anxiety and depression felt by an individual and the amount of time they spend on social media. You can ask the dean. He's literally written a book on the topic. We have been conditioned to filter our lives in a way we think we want people to see. We lose self-awareness of who we are. We lose sight of what we really value and determine. But why is failure so feared? Michael Jordan had 25 game-winning shots in his NBA career. He went 9 for 18 in the final 24 seconds of a game, and only 5 for 11 in the final 10 seconds. In the playoffs alone, he hit 3 buzzer beaters, but he only went 5 for 11 with less than 5 seconds on the clock, and no one ever talks about the shots that he missed. His legacy is in his competitiveness and his willingness to win. If he hadn't taken all of those shots, he wouldn't have made the game winners. Every single basketball player operates at a shooting percentage less than 100%. It would be impossible to be perfect. Steve Kerr has the best three-point shooting percentage in a career in the history of basketball, and he shot 45.4%, not even half. Kyle Korver has the best single-season three-point shooting percentage at 53.6, barely over half. So author Brené Brown has a quote that touches on owning who you are. You either walk inside your story and own it, or you can stand outside your story and hustle for your worthiness. Our time here is limited. Don't waste it in comparison and fear. If you were born to be a lineman, don't mask it and try to be a quarterback. Embrace who you are and don't be scared of it. We aren't born with fear, but almost immediately our environment affects how we feel about situations. It affects how courageous we are. I used to always think that babies that walked at an early age were going to be the most athletic. But what I've come to find out is that babies that walk early are the least afraid to fall. Falling has not been reinforced as a scary thing. Falling doesn't equate to failing. So give yourself grace, and don't limit yourself because you're scared to fail. Fail so you can grow. Fall so you can land outside of your box. And fail so you can pave a new path, zigging instead of zagging. Now, don't misunderstand me. Not all failure may be good. Being reckless may not lead to prosperity, but there is no prosperity without an attempt. And being risk-averse will never allow you to maximize your success. Because with risk, there is reward, but there is also failure. And when you fail and fall down, get back up. Learn from your mistakes. Don't mask your mistakes with a filter. And if you don't fall, you don't grow. And just maybe, if you don't take the leap, you don't get to where you were meant to go. An average definition of success is a safety net for mediocrity. Sometimes it's not about the final product, it's about the journey. In basketball, you execute a play. And when it's done properly and the ball doesn't go in, it doesn't mean it was a failure. Believe it or not, when a basketball player trains, there are good misses. I first worked basketball when I was a student here. I worked women's basketball in 2011, 2012. And one of the assistant coaches would always say, "Good miss," or "Great miss," "Way to miss long." And I would sit there and think to myself, how is there such a thing as a good miss? That makes no sense. But it is through repetition of shots, the muscle memory of good shots, that gives you the confidence to take the last shot. I was told that if I was lucky, maybe I could get sports experience at the local high school. I smiled and said, maybe, we'll see. Didn't really think about it much and kept moving. Maybe I was naive, maybe it was dumb luck. But I felt I was always going to be in the NBA, and I thought I had no reason to stop trying. But it didn't come without failure. I interviewed for more than one NBA job before I was hired in Portland. I was told no on more than one occasion. And I learned from those experiences. I improved on what I was told I was lacking, and I kept trying. I took courses, I expanded my knowledge base, I called NBA teams all around the league asking to shadow and volunteer. And now, nearly 10 years later, I'm the head athletic trainer of the Portland Trail Blazers. I've had people reach out to me and apologize for doubting me, for thinking that I was crazy. And I had forgotten about so many of those doubts. But when someone doubts you, use it as fuel and keep moving. So, I want you all to close your eyes just one more time. If you had no fears in this world, how would you define success? If your definition of success has changed from a few minutes ago, you need to continue to remind yourself that dreams have no barriers. Whatever you just came up with, do that, accomplish that, and with hard work and a little faith, there should be no fear or shame in chasing your success. And along your journey, remind yourself of the benefits of failure and be resilient. Keep taking the next shot and be prepared for any situation. Don't stop climbing. How many last-second shots did Michael Jordan make, and how many did he miss? No one cares how many he missed, because that is not how he will be remembered. Similarly, you will be remembered by the successes you had along your journey, successes you may at one time or another been uncomfortable striving for. Your growth will come from your setbacks and the things that you learned and lost. Your legacy will be in what you were courageous enough to keep attempting. And if you get stuck, if you get in a rut, think about helping someone else. Help them grow. When you take your thoughts outside of yourself and serve others, you will see growth and greatness that is infectious. Before you know it, you are thriving in ways you never knew you could. Everyone sitting here today has already committed to working in a field that requires caring for others, helping others. You are all going into caring professions. You are steps ahead of others because you have dedicated the last few years of your life to helping others, whether it is in health or in teaching. So if you find yourself struggling to find your definition of success or your purpose, commit to being great every day at helping those around you, and you will flourish and you will prosper. So to the class of 2022, as you leave here today and start the next chapter of your life, always remember these three things. Success is how you define it, embrace failure, and always remain as resilient as a Razorback. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for those inspirational words, Dr. Cohen. Before we conclude with the presentation of diplomas, I have just one piece of advice for all of you. It is based on something originally attributed to Dr. Martin Luther King, and it has been helpful to me during some challenging times over the past few years. And I believe it will be helpful to all of you as you start on this next stage in your life journey. The words he said are these: if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. Just keep going. Many days, you are all going to have the opportunity to run or fly. You will be in your groove, proud, effective, and making the world a better place. But sometimes, as we just heard from Dr. Cohen, not everything goes to plan. And that's especially in the case for us, people who work directly in human service. So give yourself a break and let yourself have those days when you can only walk or even just crawl. Just keep going, and you will soon be back to running and flying. But what about those moments that you're so exhausted that you can't even crawl? Those will come too. I sure know I have experienced some of those. But that is the time to reach for your secret weapon. Your family, friends, and community. Those people sitting up there now with you, and others who are not here today, the ones who helped you to get to today. They will always be there for you during those challenging times in the future. So please join me in a heartfelt round of applause, appreciating your friends, your family, and the communities that helped you get here. Let us now present the diplomas. Faculty marshals, please begin to escort our graduates for the presentation of their diplomas. Yes. We will be recognizing students who are receiving the Bachelor of Science, the Bachelor of Arts in Teaching, the Bachelor of Science in Education, and the Bachelor of Science in Nursing as members of the 2022 graduating class. We will begin with our senior scholars.
Dean Promack will assist with the presenting of degrees of first-ranked and senior scholars.
Sophia Bodishbaugh, summa cum laude. Haley Nicole Hopkins, highest distinction. Lauren Lagan, summa cum laude.
Sophia Rose Rice, highest distinction. Elizabeth Price, summa cum laude.
Lean Abachali, summa cum laude.
Maddox Grace McIntyre, highest distinction. Gentry Sierra Myers, summa cum laude. Emily Catherine Pennell, highest distinction. Lacey Simpson, summa cum laude.
Annabelle Kate Brock, highest distinction. Salee Lane Cannon, highest distinction. Madeline Nicole Cates, highest distinction. Sydney Marie Craig, summa cum laude. Erin Egar, highest distinction. Lillian Fogelman, highest distinction. Mary Jocelyn Haggard, summa cum laude.
Presented by Brian Haggard, Professor of Biological Engineering.
Lindsay Lynn Hernandez, highest distinction. Lauren Dove Hughes, highest distinction. Madeline Lanciani, highest distinction.
Anna Brian Neiman, summa cum laude. Haley Owens, highest distinction. Brianna Purser, summa cum laude. Sydney Schmidt, highest distinction. Kristen Nicole Smith, highest distinction. Megan Kathleen Underwood, summa cum laude.
Savannah Nicole Bush, summa cum laude. Addison Luttrell, highest distinction. Jaden Heinley, highest distinction. Lila Hernandez Rivas, highest distinction. Madeleine Kwong Hing, highest distinction.
Courtney Moitz, highest distinction.
Cassandra Lynn Allen, highest distinction. Kit Adderholt, highest distinction. Macy May Highfill, highest distinction.
Jameson Peckham, highest distinction.
Isabel Grace Burke, highest distinction. Olivia Brooke Glasgow, summa cum laude.
Abby Parker, highest distinction.
Dr. Michael Hevel, Head of the Department of Rehabilitation, Human Resources, and Communication Disorders, will assist with presenting degrees from his department.
Lauren Arnold, high distinction. Cindy Arroyo. Sutton Childers Bowman, summa cum laude. Caitlin Nicole Bray. Kathleen Estelle Bridgeforth, summa cum laude. Mallory Carr. Hannah Renee Carter, high distinction. Lloydriana Clayton. Mason Cohn. Lauren Cullen. Kirsten Nicole Dampman. Lauren Virginia Doyle, summa cum laude. Colby Grace Fowler, summa cum laude. Laura Friedrich. Catherine Grimm Fuller, high distinction. Abigail Hope Hagner. Anna Hall. Hannah Kate Hartshorn, summa cum laude. Ellison Hill, highest distinction. Haley Hodgkins. Madison Jacobs. Cassie Johnson. Kylie Jones, summa cum laude. Chloe Joseph. Cameron Jornigan. Claire Elizabeth Kello, magna cum laude. Madeline Kelly, magna cum laude. Mackenzie Ann Kennan. Rebecca Kilpatrick. Gabriella Krupa, summa cum laude. Ren Lanier. Madeline Elizabeth Lassiter, high distinction.
Lainey Elise Madding Walker. Margot Maynard, summa cum laude. Hazel Elizabeth Malcolm. Amelia Maslani. Hannah Grace Matthew. Michaela Ann McCombs. Abigail Renee McGee. Sydney Middlebrook. Ava Grant Muxness, high distinction. Emily Ortiz. Anna Elizabeth Perry, summa cum laude. Ashley Pichaki, highest distinction. Cassandra Price. Brooke McCall Pridgeon, summa cum laude. Rachel Grace Ray, high distinction. Abigail Reinhard. Olivia Catherine Rickett, high distinction. Lily Robinson, high distinction. Addison Brooks Rogers, highest distinction. Kendall Marie Ryan. Amelia Sarkar, highest distinction. Elizabeth Schoenbrunn, high distinction. Andrea Scott. Sarah Shaw, high distinction. Avery Smith, summa cum laude. Holly Smith. Lindsay Smith. Haley Taylor. Haley Thrash. Taylor Thurby. Brighton Joe Turner, high distinction. Bailey Aldrich, high distinction. Caroline Unkefer. Emma Villanueva, magna cum laude. Sabrina White, cum laude. Anna Elizabeth Williams, high distinction. Mallory Blair Wine. Sydney Caroline Ray. Gabriel Wright. Madison Yarbrough. Brooke Zimmerman, magna cum laude.
Jeffrey Brady. Sid Bryant. Jessica Ferguson.
Lori Reagan. Carrie Syria. Alicia Michelle Wolverton.
Dr. Ed Bankston, head of the Department of Curriculum and Instruction, will assist with presenting degrees from his department.
Autumn Karen Eichenlaub.
Alexis Ann Peters. Emma L. Riemenschneider, magna cum laude. Jennifer Rogers. Colin Whitehead.
Ashlyn Babbitt. Taylor Barganier. Mia Bates. Ashley Berry, high distinction. Courtney Blackburn. Catherine Bouchel. Hannah Breath. Jenna Brittingham. Miranda Claire Brown. Josie Calderera. Abby Carter. Sarah Dallas, highest distinction. Riley Dillingham. Parker Ronald Evett, high distinction. Carly N. Farrell, cum laude. Abigail Phipps. Madeline Alexa Ford, high distinction. Claire Fortier. Grace Frame. Hope Fazell. Rose Gillow. Annabeth Hall, cum laude. Nicole Lee Hallmark. Kate Coco Hatfield, high distinction. Victoria Hope Heffington. Natalie Louise Hundley, highest distinction. Emma Johnson. Madison Page Killen. Teresa King. Alexandra Hope Lavanchi. Kim Lee. Aggie Lipinski. Alexis Livingston. Hannah Rose Love. Lauren Grace Lumpkin.
Grace Ellie Marek. Mackenzie Martin, high distinction. Hannah Mashburn. Grayson Elizabeth McCrae. Maddie Del Moss, high distinction. Cassie Diane Nelson. Jessica Knighton. Wendy Stephanie Orellana. Lindsay Partaika. Whitney Joy Radloff. Madison Mackenzie Russell. Corey Lakin Schaufler. Abigail Shooter. Jennifer Stewart. Molly Trost. Chloe Nicole Wong. Alyssa Caitlin Werner, high distinction. Emma Rose Williamson. Brittany Willis, high distinction.
Maria Angelica Alcala. Hannah Madeline On. Anna Bolena Barragan. Fernando Barragan. Sandra Lynn Chacon. Yvette Mariela Chacon Martinez. Catherine Charlson. Sydney Klein. Mackenzie Dembski. Rose Teresa Diaz. Anna Louise Ellis, high distinction. Stephanie Rico Espino. Daisy French, high distinction. Karen Gomez. Rachel Fame Grice, high distinction. Victoria Hanson, high distinction. Annabelle Hernandez Madrigal. Mackenzie Elizabeth Hinderberger. Megan Lee. Karina Lemus. Haley Jo Lewis. Chantel Lively.
Teresa Martinez. Emily McCrae. Victor Meza. Kimberly Jomake Muller. Alyssa Cranston Pliant. Suklina Knopp Ross. Catherine Selner, highest distinction. Claire Steinwag, high distinction. Allison Terzakian. Mariana Thiam. Brianna Vela. Xiomara Deborah Velasquez. Morgan Watts. Sarah Wolf. Kendall Yarbrough.
Jacob Armstrong. Jada Fields. Taylor Hasselwander. Jacqueline Hunsberger. Zachary Lee.
Manning Marshall. Caitlin Schemmel. Kate Schlee, high distinction. Taylor Beth Smith, high distinction. Allison Wirtz, highest distinction. Emily Carolyn Wright.
Abigail Nicole Aday. Maddie Boyette. Sarah Nicole Crabtree. Tatum Hoof.
Jennifer Diana Pineda. Faith Rawls. Annalise Sloop. Madison Taylor. Lexi Scott, high distinction.
Presented by Adrian Scott, Clinical Assistant Professor.
Emily Bainey. Andrew Bristow. Mesa Childress. Carly Crump. Edward DeMasters. Andrea Edwards. Francesca Eller. Peyton Holder. Taylor Capel, high distinction.
Natalie Maffey. Riley McNabb, high distinction. Caitlin Nicole Pierce. Avery Schroeder. Claire Smith. Mallory Spielmaker.
Mackenzie Brown. Peyton Elizabeth Dowell. Molly Page Jones. Elizabeth Ann Lewis, magna cum laude.
Rachel Elizabeth Miller.
Dr. Michelle Gray, Head of the Department of Health, Human Performance, and Recreation, will assist with presenting degrees from her department.
Grace Elizabeth Balsam, summa cum laude. Michaelin Bell. Annabelle Brower, highest distinction. Sydney Childress. Macy Rianne Clausen. Kaylee Hannah Consford. Caitlin Court. Tegan Noel Crane. Cameron David Crockett. Alyssa Denegri, highest distinction. Samantha Dugas, high distinction. Kinley Brooke Ferrister. Laura Andrea Franco. Kristen Michelle Garner, summa cum laude. Abigail Marie Hissler. Wyatt Harrison Howe. Gracie Hyde. Lucas Caney.
Katie Mai Chow. Victoria Morris. Megan Popple, magna cum laude. John Rogers. Samantha Lauren Rourke. Madison Spain Sanders. Maria Tackett. Katie Brooke Witham, cum laude.
Christopher Jake Baker. Catherine Berryhill. Faith Bodman, high distinction. Isabella Claire Champenois, cum laude. Mason Connerly. Kayla Contreras. Anna Nicole Crawford. Michael James Durgatch. Amanda Ellswick, high distinction. Sean Farouk, magna cum laude. Braxton Funk. Alexis Nicole Garner, magna cum laude. Cameron Good. Lauren Griffiths. Hayden Gurley. Bianca Nicole Harris. Vanessa Herman. Sarah Jacoby. James Johnson. Edward A. Just IV. Caitlin Nicole Kelly, high distinction. Mark Thomas Kramer. Regan Marie Loftus.
Brittany Martin, magna cum laude. Elise McClendon. Sarah Jane Moore, summa cum laude. Natalie Morlock. Sydney Myers. Caroline Grace Otwell. Grant Parnell. Peyton Lane Scarlett. Jordan Schmidt. Sarah Elizabeth Schwartz, magna cum laude. Haley C.A., high distinction. Bradley Jamar Smith. Brennan Smith. Megan Smith. Hannah Thessing. Mason Thomas. Alexander Ramsey Williams. Jacob Williams. Braylon Wiseman. Cooper Wright.
Megan Bailey. Raven Jewel Beck. Mary Morgan Berry. L. Blake, summa cum laude. Madeline Bradley. Rachel Brooks. Sadie Brookshire. Annie Nicole Brown. Ellie Brumley. Emily Caroline Calvin. Isabel Dolores Carey. Madison Taylor Colley. Autumn Cheyenne Craig. Avery Diana Dingus. Sophia Nicole Dunaway. Abigail Marie Dyer. Colby Ann Feldado. Catherine Fix. Carrington Michelle Gay. Shy George. Bailey Glover. Peyton Rose Gore. Danielle Gorman. Megan Glotcher. Michael Mack Grimes. Riley Lynn Gunn. Kaylee Harrison. Madison Hefner. Juana Helmy. Megan Elizabeth Holmes. Abigail Ann Jackson. Angela Janes, high distinction. Harley Page Johnson. Kelly Kaiser, high distinction. Karen Kayajuka. Decameron King. Anna Koch. Emma Caroline Kunkel. Stetson Bailey Ledbetter, summa cum laude. Emily Christina Lee. Catlin Lee, highest distinction. Savannah Lilly. Marissa Livingston.
Lauren Malty, magna cum laude. Gina Marie Mancuso, high distinction. Gracie Ann Mason. Reagan May. Mackenzie Lee McDaniel. Allie Grace Merritt. Emily Louise Murrett. Mackenzie Renee Mitchell. Sarah Eleanor Nance, summa cum laude. Emily Ann Nelson. Adeline Nayu Nana. Elizabeth Pfeiffer. Allison Porter. Jacob Pierce Reichnauer, summa cum laude. Anna Rhodes, high distinction. Reagan Dawn Rourke. Hunter Lee Rawson, high distinction. Hannah Rubio. Hannah Reagan Runnels. Morgan Jane Schleihuber, high distinction. Hannah Rose Simone. Catherine Lee Sink. Nathan Akira Smith. Carolyn Ann Stokenbury. Maggie Tabor. Mariah Jean Vogel. Madison Weimer. Hannah Carr Wells. Mackenzie Blair White. Addison Wilgus. Jasmine Williams. Mackenzie Williamson. Kendra Lavon Woods Garman. Amanda Young, highest distinction.
Michael Balsazak. Kim Barkins. Alexander Edward Bay. Brianna Bobo. Mitchell Bouvier. Grace Elizabeth Brown. Parker Burns. Alana Carlton, high distinction. Zachary Carnes. Avery Catlett. Joy Klingon, highest distinction. Aubrey Bryan Couch. Elizabeth Elise Crumpton. Michaela Daniels. Heather Davis. Jemiah Nicole Edwards. Blake Elliott. Garrison Espinoza. Dominic Alexander Flores. Luke Dominic Foreman. Giovanni A. Gomez. Jimena Gonzalez, high distinction. Kennedy Hambrick. Kelly Elizabeth Harper. Spencer Helsley. Michael Joseph Kelleher. Katie Caderna, high distinction. Kevin LaPlante.
Parker James Mendel. Alexander McKinley Mitchell. Lauren Ashley Moss. Lauren Jabray Peoples. Mackenzie Grace Puckman, highest distinction. Jarvis Ricks. Shelby Ridley. Tyler J. Robinson. Hazel Warner Rogers. Alyssa Claire Sadbury, highest distinction. Joseph Shaver. Simon Stemler. Natalie Lorin Sweat. Blake Thompson. Ryan Van Brunt. Alec Vandevoordy. Sarah Rose Welcher.
Presented by Richard Welcher, Adjunct Professor in Civil Engineering and School of Architecture.
Luis David Acuna. Jacqueline Kathleen Chalk. Callan Cleveland. Julia Cox, high distinction. Hector Arturo Cueva. Weston Michael Davis. Caitlin Ann DeLew. Kayla Elizabeth Gill.
Tyler Pauley. Peyton Robertson.
Chloe Danielle Burgess. Cameron Brasfield. Caitlin Hoffman. Highland Hayes.
Megan Smith.
Dr. Susan Patton, Director of the Eleanor Mann School of Nursing, will now assist with presenting degrees from her school.
Haley Ansley. Simone Beller, cum laude. Haley Betts. Hannah Bullock, high distinction. Sydney Hope Bomstad, highest distinction. Kristen Brashears. Aubrey Joan Brewster, high distinction. Camille Brinegar. Claire Elise Broadbent, high distinction. Brooke Eden Burnett, magna cum laude. Sydney Birch, high distinction. Tess Marie Carroll, high distinction. Ashley Renee Chandler, high distinction. Megan Chiglow. Megan Childs. Seth Cobb, summa cum laude. Olivia Bennett Coombs, high distinction. Kristen Coyle, high distinction. Emily Christian Craig, high distinction. Cindy Crockett. Gabriella Datalo, high distinction. Lane Golden Denny, magna cum laude. Caitlin Elizabeth Dillman. Chandler Rose Doyle. Jennifer Nicole Durham, magna cum laude. Kevin Edler. Brittany Elders, highest distinction. Hannah Elston, summa cum laude. Britannica Campbell. Katie Elizabeth Falconberry, high distinction. Brooke Filmer. Andrea Nicole Finicol, highest distinction. Jessica Fisk. Alexandria Fogelman, high distinction. Christina Marie Gall. Lauren Elizabeth Granado, high distinction. Riley Grennan. Helen Hall, high distinction. Ashley Nicole Hargrove. Alexandria Rania Hayward, high distinction. Catherine Henryan, high distinction. Priscilla Herr. Elizabeth Herman. Reagan Hightower, high distinction. Lauren Holmes. Caitlin Brianne Horrell, magna cum laude. Alexis Caroline Howard, summa cum laude. Alexis Howe. Brittany Hubbard. Sean Anne-Marie Jarrett. Nicole Frances Johnson, highest distinction. Catherine Elizabeth Jones, magna cum laude. Beverly R. Jordan. Shaylin Ajay Jordan. Dikshya Karki. Austin Matthew Kersey. Levi Ketchum. Savannah Grace Kilgore. John Kim. Emma Kosieha, high distinction. Brooke Lang.
Zoe Martinez, high distinction. Morgan Matthews. Gabrielle Eileen Moyer, high distinction. Lucas Meyer. Reagan Nguyen. Shiana Patel, summa cum laude. Steph Pena. Amelia Pierce, high distinction. Jennifer Ragsdale. Hadley Ashton Ram, high distinction. Haley Elise Ran, summa cum laude. Mallory Allison Reeves, high distinction. Emily Romero. Melanie Ross. Rika Russell. Nika Sevongsa, magna cum laude. Macy Schweintker, magna cum laude. Heather M. Scruggs. Lily Shearer, high distinction. Lucretia Soriano. Kate Spencer. McKinley Spradlin. Kara Steinbrecker, summa cum laude. Abigail K. Stidham. Michael Stone. Kaylee Tapp. Allison Paige Taylor. Gina L. Taylor. Grace Tedder. Ailey Ann Threlkeld, magna cum laude. Eric Tren, high distinction. Kimona Valentine. Sarah Ann Vernon, high distinction. Kaylee Watson, high distinction. Caroline Withers, summa cum laude. Angelica Wolf. Madeline Ann Wiley. Kara Yates, magna cum laude.
Tessa Reynolds.
All right, we are almost there. Part of the rite of passage is just getting through it all, and you are almost there. Please stand and sing with the Ozark Mountain British Brass Band as they perform the alma mater of the university. Thank you for that beautiful tribute to the University of Arkansas. Now I would like to extend my thanks to all our faculty, staff, and volunteers who made this commencement a success. Finally, graduates, please know that we are truly proud of you and your accomplishments. Keep in touch with us as your lives and careers change, and be sure to come back and check your name on Senior Walk. On behalf of the College of Education and Health Professions, congratulations to all our 2022 graduates.